Break on the talk station. It is 8:16 on Friday, a few days before the big game. Can we say Super Bowl, Richard?
We can.
We're going to say Super Bowl a lot then, because we're joined by the sports editor of the Carteret News-Times, Dennis Tomason.
That's correct.
Now I can just call you Dennis.
Yeah.
I got the title right?
Dennis is fine.
Sports editor. Very good.
Well, it's better than my initials, DDT.
That's deadly. Yeah.
Really don't want to go there.
That's Jake the Snake.
I thought they banned him back in the 70s, DDT, right?
Yeah, that was a Jake the Snake wrestling move.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, no, that was back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Well, gentlemen, it's a couple days before the Super Bowl, and that's why we brought Dennis in here, and Richard's always in here, talk about all things football and the Super Bowl coming up in Tampa, Florida, and pitting the NFC's champions, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, led by Tom Brady, and Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs from the AFC. I'll ask you this question, Dennis. Do you think the two best teams in this year's NFL are in the Super Bowl?
That would be tough to say. I mean, you can't rule out the Green Bay Packers, obviously, and that was a close game last week, with the Bucs and everything, or 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. But I would say yes. I really would, because I think undoubtedly Kansas City, by all means, one of the two best, if not the best technically standing. Mm-hmm. But I think the Buccaneers have been a work in progress all season long, and they finally got to that point. Even though they do have 5 losses, they finally got to the point to where I think they can be classified as the legitimate top challenger.
Okay. Before I get your pick of who you think, I already have Richard's. Richard is going with KC. I chose Tampa. What's going to be the keys of the game? And the network's always the keys to the game are what? A high-scoring game, low-scoring game? How important is Brady's experience versus Mahomes' talent and speed?
Well, I think all of that. I mean, without saying, granted, but Mahomes is one of the best young quarterbacks that's ever come down the pike, no doubt. He plays a different game, different type of quarterback than Brady, of course. But as far as scoring, I don't see it as high scoring or particularly low scoring. I see it kind of in a mid range. I see it close, and.
You're looking at my cheat sheet here. I selected Tampa 28-21. Are you liking that?
Woo, you're close with me.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
And actually, Vegas, Richard, I think Vegas said the over-under was 56.
56.
Our own Ross here, who doesn't know football from baseball, is chosen the under. So that was the one bet that he could understand, and we put his name.
I'm not a betting man. I'm not. Ross probably knows more than I do about that.
Yeah. Well, we're not. This is gentleman betting.
But I mean, I'm not necessarily a picker either. But I am going to make a pick.
And that would be?
And, okay, I'll tell you what. I was listening to you guys coming on the way in. Let's see if I can get
That's
this
5
right.
listeners today, Ross. We're keeping score.
5. Okay. It's up from 3.
That's plus my mother in Pennsylvania, so make it 6. Okay.
Well, there's only 3 people in the world that like Tom Brady, and my wife's one of them. So I like Tom
Brady.
There's got to be one other one out there.
I think Michelle does. Michelle Dobbs.
No, Michelle likes the Patriots.
She doesn't like.
She doesn't like Brady because he left the Patriots.
Okay.
But she's a New Englander.
Let's be clear about that. Okay.
Yeah, that's In fact, I thought she might be pulling for Brady too, and I made the mistake of suggesting that the other day. And
I thought so too.
Oh, she corrected me.
Yeah, I thought so too. So Dennis, you like Tampa?
Yeah.
And you think it's going to be not a high scoring game, probably below the aggregate for Vegas over under. And you said I was close with my 28-21 pick.
Close. This is what I'm gonna tell you. In honor of National Wear Red Day, let's put it like this.
Okay, here we go.
Roses are red, violets are blue. Mm-hmm. My pick is, you guessed it, Buccaneers in 2.
Wow, 2 points.
A safety. And because Mahomes, as much as I respect him, he's a young quarterback, he may just try to do a little too much. And in the end, will be taken down in his own zone. So I say 23-21.
Well, okay, 23-21. All right. So those people that have office pools and you're sitting on a 3 and a 1, don't be. That's not a bad combination of numbers in an office pool, 3 and 1. But
yeah. Okay,
Dennis is going 23-21. Interesting. We'll have to watch that. That will be amazing going into the final quarter in like the last 7 minutes or so if the score is that tight. I mean, the pressure's got to be enormous. I mean, it is enormous in this game. But as it gets closer to the horn sounding at the end of the fourth quarter, I think that's where Brady's 10 Super Bowl appearances, his experience
This
is
will
going
be
to
his
really
10th,
shine.
yeah.
It's gonna shine.
And well, and I don't have the stats on this, but I'm pretty sure most big games like this, particularly Super Bowl, you look at the difference being, you asked that earlier, I say defense.
Yeah.
It will not be a Tom Brady so much as the Bucs defense.
Yeah,
Well,
usually
to that
somebody messes up.
point though, Richard, and this is probably one of the betting lines in Vegas is turnovers. Who will get picked and who would get picked more? Because they're both throwing quarterbacks, right? Brady throws,
Oh, yeah.
Mahomes throws, Mahomes runs and throws,
But
Brady
Mahomes
throws.
runs. And
But he can get maybe a little sloppy, like you said. His talent might get ahead of his head.
his youth might
Yeah.
turn against him. It hasn't thus far.
No, but he hasn't played, against Brady in this.
It'll
in this
be
matchup.
it'll be interesting. I think it'll be, if not the most interesting matchup in the Super Bowl ever. It definitely is. And this year, the pandemic, season, encrusted season, and all that sort of thing. It's just too bad they can't have more than 22,000 people in the stands,
Yeah.
and which is quite a number
quite
compared
a-
to what they have had.
and they're going to get a little noisemakers. So
And they're going to be making some noise, of course, but I still wish we could hear the 8,000 that should be in there.
yeah. Well, we'll see.
But anyway,
We'll see. It'll be
see it.
good. Richard, what's your take on? What's your takeaways? What's your keys to the game? Not takeaways from the game. We haven't played it yet. What's your keys to the game? What do you think is going to turn the tide for one team or the other?
I think if Tampa Bay can run the ball, they can stay in this game. If they can't, they're going to get blown out. And we are talking about interceptions. Brady threw a lot more than Holmes did this year.
Yeah, he's tossed some ugly
He
balls.
threw three in the game against Green Bay.
he did.
But again, I'm with you. It's hard to go say, "Hey, Tom Brady's not going to show up." He's Tom Brady. At some point, it has to drop off the cliff, but hasn't done it yet. But Mahomes, honestly, there's more to this game. Obviously, Brady getting to 10 Super Bowls and 7 championships, which is unheard of. But Mahomes is on a pace now. If he can win this one, potentially catch Brady.
Yeah.
I mean, he'll be the youngest quarterback in history to win 2
back to back.
if he wins this one.
Yeah.
That's something.
25 years.
Yeah, and he's going,
25
unless
years
he
old.
gets hurt, he's going to play till he's 38, 40 years old.
That's fun to
So,
see. Yeah, it's fun to see. It's almost, in a way from another sport, it's like golf and it's like Tiger chasing Jack.
Yeah.
And that's,
Except we get to see them do it on the field.
yeah.
Tiger and Jack, it was there was no
You
real
couldn't
overlap.
see it.
Right.
That's right. You couldn't see it. And the networks have to love this, especially the NFC run. They have to love the fact that Brady went through New Orleans and Drew Brees,
Yeah,
the
and
age
Aaron
there,
Rodgers.
and then Aaron Rodgers, the age combined there of those two, and now you have just the opposite. You got the young and the old.
Tampa has
Yeah,
better
and plus
defense.
they're at home, and I'm thinking that
Yeah.
might not even be a good thing on the role they've been on the road. But
Yeah, exactly.
we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know how much how much does a home field advantage in this big game count? Other than the travel, the lack of travel for Tampa Bay, they're there.
I don't know that it counts that much at
Yeah.
all. These are professionals, and they've gone through long seasons every
Yeah.
time they get to a Super Bowl, and they've had the ups and downs. And I'm not sure of the 5 losses. Maybe when you guys know how many of those were at home.
For Tampa,
Yeah,
I want to say
I know KC was one.
I
of them.
want to say it was 3 or 4.
I think most of the losses were at home
because they
And,
lost to the
it's-
Saints at home and
Right.
they lost to
They lost to KC.
and they lost to somebody else at home. So 3, I think.
The thing about the home field, Dennis, is the fact it's a football stadium. Now, other than the contour of the top of the stadium and how the wind goes, the field goal kicker may have an advantage being the home kicker. But a football field is a football field is a football field. You played football
Yes, sir.
in college at App State.
Yes, sir.
What was it like playing away versus at home? When the game is on, do you just drown out all the other noise out there and just concentrate on the game plan that's been put forth to you by the coaches?
Well, pretty much you do that. It's that whether we were away or at home never bothered me personally. It was the game itself.
Yeah.
I was so intrinsically involved in the play. I think it's one reason I like Brady so much, because he is not only a good player, he is a coach. And I know I had a little bit of experience in a situation like that in high school. I was the captain, so I kind of had to pull the guys together, especially during the rough times. And I sort of faded in college. I didn't have much of a career there, to be honest
What
with you.
position did you play?
But
What position did you play?
Running
in college?
back.
Running back.
Yeah.
Okay.
and return kicks. I return kicks in college too. So that.
Okay. But are you able to drown out the noise? I know back in the day when you played, there was leather helmets, but so the wind didn't go through them as much as the
how old did you tell him? I know you're 59 and a half. You're 31 and a half. You're 52. I mean, you could have been. I could have been your older brother, and I could have been your father. Can you imagine that? I could have been your dad.
You had the one face guard going across there.
I'll say this to that. Ordinarily, I think 99% of the time these guys are pros. The crowd doesn't bother.
I think so.
It's
too.
that one time when it's really intense that it kind of separates a little bit. But this is not going to happen here. There are no fans really. So
I still think I think the game's going to pivot on one or two plays. And
it's the other guys,
and hopefully it's a play, not an official, not calling an interference play like a couple years
like
ago.
Super Bowl 10 with the Steelers and the Cowboys. Yes, I remember that.
Well, just recently wasn't there recently a no call interference? Yeah, but I hope it's all one on the field. But I think it's going to come down to one or two big plays,
the other guy.
It's a turnover.
And I really think it's going to be a defense.
Well, a turnover.
Well,
I would vote for that.
A safety.
Exactly.
Tampa's got the better defense. However, they got I don't know exactly who's going to play, but they're missing both safeties, and that could be really big because one of Kansas City's weapons is their tight end.
Exactly.
Normally, the safeties deal with that. Without your two starting safeties, I don't know how you deal with that. So hopefully they can get their main guys on the field, and we can get the true test of who's who.
And Mahomes will rise above his. He got hit pretty hard in the playoffs.
Yeah,
he did. He did.
Yeah, if we're being honest, he probably shouldn't have been allowed to play that last game.
Yeah.
I was a little bit shocked on that one.
Oh, I knew they would let it play. It's NFL.
I'm glad they did. Of course, I don't want it at as later on. He's going to suffer as a result of it. I sure don't want to see that. But I think also, and I just threw this out here in light of it, another thing that you have to be excited about, and me being the older dog in this little shoreway we're having here, the coaches, Andy Reid and Arians. I mean, you can't ask for, I don't think, a better matchup of coaches. Gentlemen who've been there, done that, and still doing it.
Yeah, and also bring a little razzle dazzle too.
Exactly.
Andy Reid's always ready for a play or two that you didn't see coming.
If you don't like Andy Reid, you can't like anybody.
Andy's one of the best.
Yeah,
he just simply is.
That's gonna be a good matchup. So.
Arians needs this for his legacy or whatever because he hadn't gotten one yet.
Well, it is quite a remarkable ride if you look at Tampa Bay before Brady, and now they bring Brady in. Brady has to feel comfortable with Gronk too, that he has a target there at tight end.
Glad you mentioned Gronk. I like me some Gronk.
Yeah. And that could be a key. That could be the play.
Gronk, he needs that. What is it? He needs one more touchdown pass to be the all-time.
Yeah.
It could be that Dwight Clark moment. You know?
Oh gosh, that would be awesome.
Yeah. I think.
And he had that one catch in that last game, and
it was big,
right down the seam.
Yeah,
I mean, the dude motored down the road there. He made some moves as big as he is.
I think
he's a big target.
He is.
Yeah.
If you hear the name Leonard Fournette a lot, Tampa's going to be in this game.
Oh yeah.
If they can run the ball, they'll be there.
He's a good
If they
runner.
can't run the ball, I think they're going to be in trouble.
He can do a little bit of it. I like the way he runs.
Yeah, if he's an
not a
MVP
flashy
candidate
guy. He's
going
just
into the fourth quarter,
Yeah.
and his name is coming up,
well, you do that.
then Tampa's probably in this game.
You establish the run to set up the pass.
Well,
Exactly.
Kansas City doesn't, but yeah.
But Brady's got to.
Brady
He's not,
needs
He's
it,
not going to
yes.
run. Brady's
Exactly.
not going to run for 9 yards in this game.
Yeah. Well, Brady doesn't have to run. That's why he's been around so long. He's not a running quarterback.
He's smart.
He knows.
Yeah, he's getting rid of the ball.
When he's getting ready to take a sack, and he's got eyes and ears in the back of his head. He knows when to go down.
Yeah.
And fortunately, he's been not totally injury free. He had that 1 year.
This is new helmets they play with.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Not those old leather jobs.
A lot better than those leather things. Trust me.
Dennis, I want to thank you for coming in this morning. Just set the record straight. Dennis is picking Tampa over KC by 2. 23-21.
Yes, sir.
Richard Clark at 37-20 KC, and yours truly Tampa 28-21. So.
And Dennis did not wear a leather helmet.
But I do have a World War I gun.
Very good. Nice combination there. Can't go wrong with that combo. All right, gentlemen, we'll take a break on that note, and Super Bowl is Sunday. We'll find out how this all pans out on Monday when we all reconvene. You should come back in for a recap. Just same time, same bat channel.
Well, we might do that.
Don't do that.
Even if I lose.
Yeah, okay. Let's do that.
It doesn't matter to me. These are two great teams. I'm not going to be disappointed
No.
either way. I'm a Green Bay Packers fan, but I was not disappointed in last week.
this
You know,
outcome.
normally I'd pull for them anytime. So.
Very good. We'll see. We'll take a short break here and be back after this.